the U.S. taking out the leader of al-Qaeda, who is being harbored by the Taliban. Joining us now, National Security Council Coordinator for Strategic Communications at the White House, retired Rear Admiral John Kirby. Admiral, it's great to have you on this morning. We understand this was a very specialized drone strike that killed al-Zawahiri. Can you give us more details, perhaps anything that hasn't been released yet, surrounding the nature of this, well, pretty important moment for justice in American history?
Yeah, I think obviously we're being somewhat careful, Mika, in the way we describe this strike, because we want to be able to preserve our flexibility to do these kinds of things in the future. But this was, about a year ago, Mika, and you and I were talking, after the withdrawal from Afghanistan, we're talking about over-the-horizon counterterrorism capability and the degree to which we could do it. Well, this proves the case that it can be done. We didn't have any boots on the ground, but over a constant series of meticulous gathering of intelligence and information over the course of many months, we were able to execute this strike with great efficiency. And from the time the president decided to move forward on the 25th of July till the strike itself this Saturday night, really the only things that were kind of holding us up was weather, making sure that we exactly had eyes on the target, and of course, really importantly, because the president made this very strongly, is that there was not going to be any civilian casualties. So the timing was critical, but it really proves the case that over-the-horizon counterterrorism capability of a significant effect can be done.
Admiral, I'm not sure if you're a Who fan or not, the band The Who. But if you are, you'll get the reference. Meet the new Taliban, same as the old Taliban. What do we do about that fact? We're dealing with people who are harboring our worst enemies, who are hardening people who've devoted their entire lives to killing Americans at home and abroad, Americans in civilian clothes, Americans in uniforms. Yeah. Don't we have to go back and look at that agreement we made, renegotiate it, rewrite it?
I don't know that we're going to be rewriting the Doha Agreement. Clearly, though, Joe, the presence of Mr. Zawahiri in Kabul violates the Doha Agreement. There's no question about that, and we've made that clear. I think the Taliban very much understand what we're about and how seriously we're going to take our commitments to protect this country against terrorism threats. Believe me, they got the message. And this strike itself was a measure of accountability, not just for Mr. Zawahiri and al-Qaeda, but for anybody else that would think next time about harboring terrorists that could threaten the homeland. So we're going to keep an eye on this. We're going to watch this very, very closely. We knew when we left Afghanistan, we knew that there was a small presence of al-Qaeda already in the country. And we said that at the time. We're going to continue to monitor the threat to make sure that we can deal with it.
Admiral, this is perhaps not isolated, though, as you know better than I do. This entire neighborhood has sort of been cleared out by the Taliban to house VIPs. And I think there was a large group of people, the Haqqani Network and the Taliban, who knew that al-Zawahiri was there. What do you do about that? You say this was a message to the Taliban. Do you think they'll change their practices, their views, the way they've always been because of this one strike?
Well, we certainly hope so. I mean, we certainly hope that the message has been sent, that we meant it when we said it, that we were going to make sure that we would not allow Afghanistan become a safe haven for terrorist threats, again, to the homeland. So we hope it does. We hope it does have an effect on them and their behavior. But if it doesn't, Willie, we are still going to stay vigilant. We're still going to stay capable. And as we proved just over the last couple of days, we have the capability to conduct over-the-horizon counterterrorism strikes from far, far away with great effect. So I think the message has been very, very clearly sent, not just to al-Qaeda, but to anybody that might harbor them there.
So, Admiral, without giving too much of your operational plans and how you carried this off. Can you explain to the viewers, because I think it does get to the argument that over-the-horizon strikes do work and that you can do this without boots on the ground, how exactly you ID'd and then carried out a strike that, according to reports so far that we have, killed only one man on one balcony in the middle of Kabul?
Yeah, I mean, it's just an incredible amount of painstaking work that went into this. And I want to be careful here about the intelligence stream, but basically we were able to track the movement of Mr. Zawahiri's family to Kabul. And then by tracking that and understanding where they were, we were able to then track his movements to join up with his family. Then it was simply a matter of, once we knew where he was, of watching, developing a pattern of life, if you will, trying to understand both the habits of this individual, but also confirming that this individual was, in fact, Mr. Zawahiri. Once that was done, and that took a matter of that took some weeks to do. And once we had that in place, then it was really a matter of presenting the case to the national security team and to the president, of course, for the president to make a decision. And then he obviously made that decision. And then, as I said it a few minutes ago, it really came down to timing, to making sure that all the conditions were right, that we could get him. And that we could do so without hurting any civilians. And, of course, the weather also played a little bit of a factor there.
Wow. National Security Council Coordinator for Strategic Communications at the White House, retired Rear Admiral John Kirby. Thank you very much for coming on this morning. We appreciate it.